So I think the first thing is that we've moved from being an organisation that doesn't tolerate racism to being an actively anti-racist organisation. And I think what was really important for that was it came direct from the chief. It's for each individual within the organisation to really take a look at themselves and their own personal biases and not think that biases are a dirty word, that we've all got them, that we need to understand them, and we need to see how that affects our ethnic minority groups and the way we deal with our ethnic minority groups and victims and also communities, but also internally as well. As an organisation, the culture in the organisation has moved to a learning culture. So when we do make a mistake, it's really important that that's not like a punitive measure and that actually we're looking at it from a learning point of view, because the reality testing that we've carried out suggests one of the biggest fears for the workforce for us is that we've got a real strong fear of getting it wrong, of saying the wrong thing, not approaching it in the right way. And we all know that in policing, when we deal with matters of race, ethnicity, culture, very often they are under the spotlight. So senior officers will review the job that involves that individual, and they'll always ask the question, who's the officer in the case for this job? So that was bringing about kind of a fear amongst the organisation. So now we've moved to this learning culture. If we do genuinely get it wrong, just because we've got learning to take from it, then we deal with that in a really low level way and in a learning way so that that person can reflect on what they've done wrong and learn from it. It's one of the key things we've looked at is colleagues coming back to work. So a number of our ethnic minority officers and staff have been off work long term with grievances or with problems at work that have not been fully dealt with. We've got those individuals coming back to work now, and that's really key for us. But actually, the next stage of that is retaining them at work and making sure that they have the opportunity to thrive. So it's learning from what mistakes we've made. I suppose another part of that is a program we've just launched called Launchpad. Previously, we've really struggled to engage female ethnic minority officers and staff. And I think it was almost a credibility issue that some of the suggestions felt a little tokenistic and a little bit as a knee-jerk reaction to officers and staff aren't feeling fully supported. What can we do? Or we'll just, I don't know, we'll throw some sergeant's grammar books at them, or we'll offer them courses, or we'll do this. So what we really wanted to do was go to those individuals and say, what is it that would really mean something to you? What is it that you actually want from us? And they all sort of spoke about a course which looked at developing them as individuals with some personal sort of skills around what their personal branding might look like, how they can develop their self-confidence, their sort of their want to drive themselves up the organisation or into a role within the organisation that they really wanted to aspire to, and sort of flipping it on its head, because we know that they will look at a job spec, see there's 10 things that they need to be able to do that job spec, and they can do 9 of them, but the one that they don't think they can do would hold them back. So it was really getting over that and looking at, look, you are 90% of the way there. We just need to support you to get that last 10%. And I think that was really important. And it was the first time that we offered a course out, and it was overwhelmingly accepted. But I think one of the key things is that people want to get involved with it because they're seeing the differences that are being made. And also we've moved from asking lots of questions about what would make life better for you, how would you thrive within our organisation, to actually, you've already told us this information, we've acted on what you've said, and we've delivered, such as the Launchpad. Am I, as a white leader, making decisions on your behalf, hoping that I am getting what is best for you? Or do I sit down with you and ask you what you actually want? And I think that's really key, because I'd already said what I think should happen is that after every 3 times you're racially abused, as a member of staff, you should get a referral into our welfare department, and we should provide you with welfare. And I thought I was doing a really great thing. I thought I was really supportive. But actually, when you speak to our members of the network, they're saying to us, oh, please don't do that. What I really don't want to do is be really highlighted or have this need to be taken to a welfare meeting. What I'm doing is I'm using the network to get my support. So actually, I'll tell you when I want to be referred into welfare. And that was really interesting for me, because I thought I was doing this fabulous thing of supporting them, and actually that wasn't really the case. And also, I think one of the other reasons is that there's a structured meeting system between the chief officer team and the network. So they have a direct access to our chief officer to say what is on their mind, say what is causing them issues, but also what they're really pleased about, what's gone really well, and what they want to tell them.